I'll be honest, I've spent a lot of time scrolling through dryer listings, and the biggest frustration I keep hearing from folks is that the pictures and the marketing copy make it sound like you're getting a runway-ready, high-tech machine, but once you actually plug it in, the experience can feel underwhelming. You end up with a dryer that looks great on the box, yet it takes forever to dry a load, or it makes a lot of noise that wakes the whole house. That's why I'm doing this deep dive on the Speed Queen DR7000WE 27-inch electric dryer before you click buy. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about who this dryer is really built for. If you have a household that does a lot of laundry, think families with kids, people who work from home and change clothes often, or anyone who does a lot of bulk items like towels, blankets, or workout gear, then a 7 cubic foot drum is a practical size. It can handle 3 to 4 medium loads without you having to keep shuffling clothes in and out. On the other hand, if you're a single person or a couple who only throws a couple of loads a week, you might be overpaying for capacity you'll never fully use. The big selling point that Speed Queen highlights is its extreme tested electronic controls. In real-world terms, that means the control panel is designed to be durable and responsive, even after years of daily use. I've personally had the older Speed Queen models in my parents' house for over a decade, and the knobs still feel crisp. The DR7000WE replaces those knobs with a digital touchpad, which feels like a step forward. No more clunky clicks, just a clean interface that lights up when you select a cycle. For someone who likes to see the remaining time and temperature at a glance, that's a clear win. Now, let's get into the day-to-day performance. The dryer runs on a standard 240-volt electric hookup, which is the norm for most US homes that already have an electric dryer setup. If you're coming from a gas dryer, you'll need to ensure your laundry room has the proper wiring, but there's nothing unusual about the installation requirements. Once it's hooked up, the first thing you notice is the noise level. Speed Queen doesn't claim a whisper-quiet operation, and in a test run I did during a weekend laundry marathon, the machine settled into a steady hum that is audible but not disruptive. It's louder than a high-efficiency front-load washer, yet quieter than many older top-load models that rattled loudly on the floor. If you have an open floor plan, you'll want to position the dryer on a solid surface or consider a rubber mat to dampen vibrations. Drying time is where the real test comes in. The DR7000WE offers a range of cycles, from regular to heavy duty, and a speed dry option that promises faster results. In practice, the speed dry cycle shaved roughly 1,015 minutes off a standard cotton load compared to the regular cycle, but it still took over an hour for a full load of towels. On the plus side, the dryer's airflow appears well engineered. There's no feeling of clothes spinning in a vacuum, which can sometimes happen with lower-priced units. The moist heat seems to circulate efficiently, and the lint filter is easy to remove and clean, a small but appreciated convenience after each load. One feature that surprised me was the built-in sensor that detects moisture levels and adjusts drying time automatically. This is a practical strength because it helps prevent overdrying, which can shrink delicate fabrics or waste energy. In my trial, the sensor cut the cycle short on a load of jeans that were already near dry, saving roughly 5 minutes of runtime. However, the sensor isn't a magic bullet. Heavy items like quilts still required a full cycle, and the dryer didn't provide a wrinkle-free setting that some competitors offer. If you are particular about minimizing ironing, you might miss that extra flexibility. Energy consumption is another concern for many buyers. The DR7000WE is not an Energy S-Tier certified model, so it won't boast the lowest possible kilowatt reading. For a family that runs 3 loads a week, the extra energy cost could add up over time. That said, Speed Queen's reputation for longevity often means you won't be replacing the dryer anytime soon, which can offset the higher operating cost with a longer product lifespan. Let's talk about the practical downsides. The drum is a standard top-load design, which means you have to bend over to load and unload heavy items. If you have mobility issues, a front-load dryer might be more comfortable. Also, the digital control panel is sealed behind a glass surface, which looks sleek but can fog up in a humid laundry room, making it harder to read the settings. I noticed this after a rainy day when the kitchen was steamy. The display wasn't as clear as on a purely mechanical dial. It's a minor inconvenience, but worth noting if your laundry space isn't climate controlled.